What's up? Come on. In the mix. Got a special guest with us today. Brother Joshua. How we? Barry. See right here. Come on.
Too much conversation. Watching the evil try to rule the nation. One thing them fear from I and I. We got to come together. Oh yeah, I've got to learn how to love one another. Got to learn how to help one another. Got to learn how to love one another in this world today. Oh yeah.
All right, let's get started here. So they can check out the phone. They get a chance. We gave them a little sneak peek, you know what I mean? Gave them a little preview, just a little taste, you know what I mean? Of what's to come. Y'all go make sure that y'all check that out. A new single by our brother Josh David Barrett, coming out and visiting us from Philadelphia. We're happy and blessed to have our special guest, brother Lyrical. And yeah, man, we just came off a grand opening for Palm Bay Marketplace and Community Center here in Palm Bay, Florida, and we're blessed to be, in the presence of legends and the legends' offsprings, and you never know where the branches of a tree will go. You know what I mean? And now today we have a fruit here with us, so give thanks in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie the First, Jah Rastafari Selassie the First. Yes, I. So, yeah, man, we wanted to get a couple of questions in and stir up the pot just a little bit. A lot going on. We're trying to figure a topic out, and one that kept kind of like, coming to the mind and the heart is this digital ID that's going on overseas, which is starting a lot of grassroots movements. There's a lot of people that are not for this new way of life. There are some that are. And so I think that's a very pressing topic that we should have a reasoning on, you know what I mean? And, this is the perfect setting and place for that. So, yeah, man, let's get some questions for the brother Joshua and then some for the brother Lyrical. And then we can go and move on into the primary topic, which is this digital ID. So, Brother Joshua, first and foremost, welcome to the Eye of Blessings. We are very, very, very blessed to have the eye here. Man,
God bless.
Oh man, like if y'all would have seen this spectacle and this occasion last night, it's likened to Benjamin Button in the beginning scene where they're like celebrating July 4th, you know what I'm saying? And you see this festivity happening and occurring, but yet something special is being born. We have that moment here in which a lot of wisdom, a lot of unity, a lot of unity, you know what I mean? So we just give thanks to Almighty for all the blessings. We had some of the dignitaries here in Palm Bay come out for this grand opening ceremony, ribbon cutting ceremony. We had a beautiful royal blue ribbon, or what was it, like baby blue, maybe something like that. But yeah, man, it was real nice. Huge scissors. Big shout out to the chamber, the Greater Chamber of Palm Bay, Florida. They've been incredible. They've welcomed us with grace, and they've also guided us in some of our steps to get to where we are today with the business. So we give them a huge shout out, and a major shout out to Cowbell Agency. The Cowbell Agency does marketing here in the Palm Bay, Melbourne area, Greater Brevard. So please contact them if you're looking for any type of marketing for your company. Marketing is one of the most important aspects and attributes a company can have. So give thanks for that. And we also wanted to give a huge shout out to our sponsors at Clubhouse Cuts in Melbourne, Florida. The owner, Derek, there has been an incredible assistance and benefit to our team and to allow us to have the honor of having the brethren here. So we give thanks to Clubhouse Cuts. Anybody else that helped us out, give thanks, shout out. So, but yeah, man, Brother Josh, I know you have a new album coming and a single. And the single that you have coming, we got an opportunity, we got a little clip of that, yeah, I mean, coming on the intro. So for those that are interested in really want to give it a listen, you can go and find it. If you can describe a little bit about your single and process of creating it and, you know, what it means to you, we'd love to hear that.
Well, first and foremost, give thanks to the item. Big up my brother Royal,
Yes, sir.
you know, and
Bless.
Palm Bay Marketplace.
Bless.
Big up to the item.
Yes.
Great accomplishment for the identity is a bless. This single is basically that energy. The song is Got to Learn, which the original version is Judah Tribe. The original unit recorded a one-drop version, but this are the remix. We spin it on the Umi rhythm, you know, them kind of style there. Brother Yasin Day, most left. Big up.
Wow, yeah.
You know what I mean? I haven't seen him since we smoked him out on the Rock the Bells tour down there, so we got to link up.
Yeah.
And, you know, like heart and like mind in these crucial times, it's just like the message. All the struggle we are fighting is like the essence is we still have to learn, got to learn how to love one another, how to help one another. If we go survive, without love, all of our efforts can be useless in the eyes of God, is what the emperor said.
Yes, sir.
We support that.
No question. And that, you know, those are arbitrary lines that have been drawn by colonial powers in the past is a perfect example of why it's imperative that we don't fall to the traps of, you know, tribalism. You know, moving forward together means reaching out now, not tomorrow. It means following through and having a course of action, you know, manifesting these things, not just, you know, reasoning these things. You know what I mean? So we're now going into another phase of this, and we're just so blessed to have the guest that we have today, which brings me to the brother Livercall. You know, we did want to ask the you know, I don't know if y'all know the backstory, but on this special occasion, the brother Livercall had told me that he was going to come, and not to say that I put it past the brother, but I didn't put it in my heart to be broken up or offended if the didn't. But CDI said, nah, I got to come. We got to do this together. We got to have unity. That 7-hour drive just to be a part of this is so important and significant. And when it comes to leadership, we have a generation that's with us that we have to soak up the wisdom from. If we have the blessing and honor to do so, if we have the eyes to see and ears to hear, then we didn't need to be digging into that gold mine of wisdom. See me, I see. So yeah, man. So we give thanks for you, brother Livercall. What inspired you to come? You know, the 7 hours.
Well, it's the love, you know, and the unity that we have to share amongst each other. You know, we have to support each other. We have to uplift each other. We got to help each other along our journey. It's not a solo ride, you know. All of us are involved in looking out for each other. So I give thanks for the opportunity, and I'm glad I came because I had a wonderful time, and we strengthened the unity at the same time. So
yeah, man, strengthen unity.
Yes, strength and the unity is important.
Oh man, and this time brings me to, you know, something to keep the eyes, you know, open about is we're living in times where this empire that was built is showing signs of weakness and signs that it's going to be falling. And this is now a clear sign to those that are watching that you have to be prepared. You know, it doesn't tell us to be slack. It tells us to be vigilant. You know what I mean? Like, watch, you know, because the hour, it always come like a thief in the night. And just like His Majesty came like a thief in the night, you know, it's the same way. If you look historically, there was no racist group in history that sent an email before they went and ran down on you. You know what I mean? Or sent a bird with a letter in its beak. You know what I mean? Or a messenger. You know, say, now maybe they sent somebody to negotiate before, but when it's time for action, ain't no more talking. And that's why eternal vigilance is so important for our community right now, because the only way to actually deal with the issue is not to refrain or ignore it exists. Is to be proactive and connect yourself to the other outreach around you that can help strengthen you and guide you in times in which it's hard to find your way. You know, this is a bigger community than just Rasta. You see, we serve the world, the global community. We are fishermen of men, and when we find a righteous man, we sow into them. You know, this is a young man who we found to be righteous out of countless other individuals out here who you talk to for years, the youth, them, you know what I mean? But sometimes you're talking to a brick wall, you know what I mean? Sometimes you talking to a hollow heart or a stony heart, you know what I'm saying? But from time to time, you find good ground, you know what I mean? And the brother Joshua is evidence of good ground. This building and business beginning in the launch is evidence of good ground, good fruit. We had a brother Joshua here, David Barrett, nephew of Aston family man Barrett, you know what I mean? And this is just an iconic and legendary interview that I pray people will be going back to look on, you know what I mean, and talk about, you know what I mean, and chop about, you know what I mean? So, yes, we did speak a little bit briefly on each other's backgrounds, and to save grace and time, we're going to go ahead and transition on into the primary topic, right? An agenda for today, which we don't have necessarily an agenda, but we're responding to agendas. See me, I say there's agendas out there that I know of that are already being integrated in cities, municipalities, states, and countries around the world. And unless the eye understand that these things are happening and you begin to embrace for a windstorm, you're going to get lost in the hurricane that's coming. You know, we see the signs of the hurricane before it hits. We see the cloud. We see we see the blackness and the darkness come to the surface, and that rush in your heart, that second nature to survive kick in. So I have that nature. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there watching this that have that nature in you to want to survive in a time where it's not guaranteed, right? The economy is not guaranteed. The government shutdown, coming back open ain't guaranteed. There's just so many things going on globally that are not guaranteed. But His Majesty has already answered that. You know, if you don't have a rudder in life, you know you're gonna be going to and fro with every wave of the ocean. You know what I mean? If you don't have a way to anchor your ship, right, then you can't get off and, you know what I mean, exchange with the village folk. So it's a lot, man, we have to do as a community. But what do y'all think? Because, you know, UK, they just roll out this new digital ID. It should be the talk of the town, and yet it's not the talk of the town, which is why we're bringing it to the town awareness, right? Now, from what I understand, their prime minister is not saying they have to have it now, but he is saying they will have it by the end of his time in office, and that they won't have a choice, or they'll have a choice, but the choice will inevitably lead them without work. Because according to him, if you don't go and get this ID, then you can't work in the UK. So this is, to me, brings a international crisis. Does this fall in line with the United Nations Charter for Human Rights? Is what people have to start asking themselves. Are there international laws that stand in and this stands in direct confrontation with them? You know what I mean? Are things people have to ask themselves. And how do you deal with what could be a tyrannical, I'm not going to call the government tyrannical, I'm going to say a tyrannical call to action or law. Right? So what say the eye? I'm curious about you guys' opinions about the topic, and if any of y'all wanted to kick in and share, the mic is open, the stage is set, and the mic is hot.
Hey.
Thanks. Anybody got any questions, concerns, reservations?
I guess I'll say, I feel like this is something that has been long coming. I mean, I feel like we've been given signs in many different ways that this kind of future was coming. You know, whether it's through movies, entertainment. You know, it's kind of like they put it in your face. You know, The Matrix, Terminator. You know, it's all things that kind of like feeds our imagination. You know, and now I feel like we're kind of seeing that being implemented. You know, legally.
Right. So this idea that may be ancient now manifesting in real time. Some say it's the mark of the beast, y'all. What y'all think? You don't know.
It sounds like it, but he said if you the Bible verse that said that whoever doesn't have the mark won't be able to eat,
Buy, sell, or trade.
And that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
We won't be able to work, won't be able to get food, make transactions or anything without it. So
Interesting, man. You know, it's very, very similar. What say the eye?
It seems like England wants to do it like in England, and it's okay, but when they do it a place like Jamaica, like I've heard of that Jamaica was going to be like one of the first or second places that they're going to institute this. And if they do so, the social credit thing is going to let a lot of people just suffer because they won't be able to afford medicine. They won't be. It's how, I don't know why you want to get poor country people to put them in a system of exploitation.
More.
Yeah, more. Social credit is going to be based on how you're going to be treated eventually.
So you think the island them going to make it?
Oh, they're trying to do the islands first, which is kind of weird to like. So the thing is, if you can get the Jamaican people to come back, the other half of the world won't say nothing. So I think they're going to be some of the first victims.
Because see, this is how I think you roll it out, in my opinion. You can't just roll it out and say, all right, well, if you don't get it and you don't work, there's going to be some enforcement. And the way I see it is, if it's 100 wolves coming for you, you demonstrate with one wolf, the 100 going back off. See, so they target incidents, and you know they capitalize and profiteer by shooting into every home around the world, and then the incident pitches fear into the hearts and mind of people for retribution for not going along to get along. You know what I mean? And when fear set in, you see the community break in half instantly. COVID showed that. Have people who I love my whole life almost damn near not disown me, but you know, like it's there over not getting a vax. Like you're not getting a vax. You're not getting a vax. Every time I talk to them, did you get the vax? No, I didn't, and I'm not gonna get the vax.
Of course,
I feel like Dave, I'm still standing, I'm still strong.
what are we gonna say about it?
I was saying force causes fear.
Force, yeah.
Yeah, and you definitely see society unraveling in front of your eyes. With mayors against governors against mayors against presidents.
Right. Which now separates state from Fed.
Yeah, they're challenging each other's authority.
Like the Civil War.
because we're all authoritarians.
Right.
So there are challenges of the authority. So you see California guardsmen going into Chicago or in the north.
Right.
Those are setting up you're setting up yourself for uncivil conflict.
Right. They're positioning themselves, and people are taking it lightly.
Mhm.
But when you position yourself, like when Russia positioned themselves in Cuba, it wasn't taken lightly by the U.S. But when their troops start positioning themselves in our country, amongst our homes and families, for us, we nonchalant. We go along thinking that eventually we'll be able to get along, and that don't always be the answer. See what I'm saying? So they're positioning themselves in a place where no longer do you have the space to respond instantaneously and have victory. They're already in the most prime defensive, you know what I'm saying,
Positions.
capabilities, you know, on Earth. So it's a thing where, you know, you don't go to the battlefield when you're playing a losing battle. They want you to throw mazel tov. They want you to, you know what I mean, to Antifa it up or MAGA it up. But the two seem to be enemies, but behind the scenes, it's not the enemy that are having both these two fight. It's somebody balancing power. In order to balance power, I need two different, I need two polar opposites. And I need to, when one gets too hot, I put the cold to bring it back to where it needs to be. When one gets too cold, I put it hot. That's how they're doing American citizens and global citizens. They divide us by Republic and Democrat, but the left is being used as a political smokescreen to resurrect racism, right? Because if you shove something down somebody's throat too much, you might just, you know what I mean, get a gag order. Or, you know, the retribution, or as Ron Paul called it, the blowback becomes, you know, inescapable. So when the left pushed so hard that you were willing to fight people tooth and nail about having a grown man or a 16-year-old man who you would have persecuted on a stand as a grown man in the bathroom with a young woman nude because he identified a certain way, that's some people that's drawing the line. When you say you're playing with their weapons, that's, you have crossed the line. And the left has been habitual line steppers. So you gotta say, so now the right is responding in extremity, right? And people are aligning with the right to offset the loss of balance in the world. And this is by design, you know, because it's sometimes in this country's interest to have immigrants here. It benefits the economy. It stimulates it. It doesn't. But now at this point in history, immigrants are easily utilized as scapegoats, right? And the reason is because they want them out now, but only for a time. So it's expedient politically to get them out with propaganda, and it serves as a means to utilize them as a scapegoat. You see, because there's other issues, and the challenges really is the economy. And the bigger challenge, which is on the horizon, is that these global powers are fighting again for dominance in the new world. They understand we're going to a new phase of life, that we're integrating artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, radio frequency, Neuralink, quantum dot tattoos into the global world, you know. And so if you have smart cities with social credit scores and the way that many Americans act, they social credit score different than I can save money and I pay my bills on time. I have social credit score like that. Did you just go back there and check? Did you just go back there and snap like a bird? What? You know what I'm saying? Or did you just stay on the toilet for 30 minutes? That was so rude. You didn't even wipe or flush. Tax. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We hitting them with a carbon tax right now. What if they just carbon tax your ass up till you canceled out this one? You know, that's the world we live in. We looking at, and what's crazy is we have an example in China now of what it could be. But the world is sitting here like, whatever. If it comes, it comes. You talk to somebody tomorrow, they look at you like you're crazy for bringing it up. And this topic is not on the news like that. You know what I mean? But it is major news like that. So, you know, which brings me to what I said earlier, and I want to kind of segue with that. Do you believe that the left and the right are both used as a political smokescreen to resurrect racism with the means to utilize racism at this particular time to centralize power with a plan to integrate AI and all of these different gadgets that they want to bring to the market? Because they can't bring them if the market's oversaturated with a workforce. You got to send people home, get them comfortable with COVID-19 first. Now they're at home chilling, and you're integrating artificial intelligence into the workforce, touch screens and such. See, they come into a head now. You're starting to see it everywhere, and it's a process because you can't just dump it out. It's got to be legally done. So now you see Trump bulldoze the federal legal code and things that have been coming into the works now, gives him a straight way to bring these products to market. You see what I mean? So you can't just bring something to market if these DUI programs and all these other programs are blocking its access to market. So it's like bulldozing the pillars of a house, but the house still standing, and you come in with new pillars and new things. The new pillars is the new, basically, from what I understand, vertical cities, you can own land 90 miles or something like that above a house. You know, digital realms are being for sale now. A few years ago, one of the artists claimed that he bought a planet. You know what I mean? So this is real time like stuff happening, and the vigilance that we have to exhibit is to see the game. The game is this: Europe could not really invade Africa without being united. They were fighting amongst themselves too much. So they realized if we fight against each other, we'll never get this continent, which is three times the size of any one of these other countries. You put Brazil and Canada and America and China and Russia and Africa still have space, you know. So they knew this, and they sat around the table at the Berlin Conference and strategized how they would invade Africa while also collectively utilizing propaganda as a means to change science and change times. To say, I'm Caucasian and you're Negroid, and because of the structure of your cranium, you're not as intelligent as me. And to say, we believe we come from monkeys and evolved into what we are today. And that when you look at Darwin's chart, you see the pygmy them, you know what I mean, in the beginning, then you see the white man, blonde hair, blue eyes at the top of the diagram. So even the diagram itself is misleading because we all evolved with that Anglo-Saxon. You got to put us all on that first line. You know what I mean? So these type of engineering is it's called social engineering, really, when you think about it. They socially engineered that all whites would be considered white as one community because they was fighting. Go look at those old school gang movies, you know, in New York and Harlem and Queens and all them Irish gangs fighting, you know what I mean? Fighting the Italian gangs. And, you know, it got so bad back then, they said, damn, we keep fighting each other. We'll never take this country, this continent. So, yeah, I think that they came and utilized the Grecian and Macedonian Alexander the Great's saying, which is divide and conquer. And they drew, like I started at the beginning, talking about arbitrary lines. And it's our job to find a way now to destroy those lines, you know, and that the Rastaman and the Rasta life is the only way to really and truly destroy those lines. It's the only faith that's showing you the truth in the origin of mankind. And the origin of mankind breaks those lines instantly when you know every human being comes from Ethiopia. That's it.
When you look on fascism, right? It is the wound that the dragon get, and it revived from that wound. Because May 5th, 1941 is our Fasika, when Michael, which is the order where His Majesty represents, who is like unto God, slew the dragon Mussolini, and the scripture saying we kick out to heaven, kick out and fall to the earth, and then work harder because I know him have but a short time. So when you look on modern government, especially here in Babylon, North America, which is called Egypt, the whole goal was to give their power over to the beast, which is all illusions, right? Where the tree, for them corrupt is a corruption and distortion of the Trinity, where them call the Axis powers, right? Yeah, Mussolini, which is where Hitler get the blueprint from, right?
Yeah.
The two of them in Hirohito. But if you watch Batman TV series from 1935 say you have to go get a chip in your hand to scan your hand if you can eat a food. So it show you how long them work together and conspire as a league first, as a league in the scripture one way against the league. Watch out how them league together, because it's not morality why they're joining together. You don't come together to try and conquest Africa for good intentions.
Right. Why do the nations plot in vain?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So that's why His Majesty born in the time when him born, just like Christ born in the time when him born. But the time when Christ born was not for him to take the crown. It was for him to give us proper liberty outside of the religious caste and the politics of the day, and teach me to turn up as men, because we are Israelites, the ones where God choose in the time when all Ethiopia deflect, and God I look for one, like in tell Isaiah, I look for one from every family, two from every city.
Right.
Like when God saved the earth and saved it through the last Ethiopian bloodline, Noah and them 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, in which part them 3 land is where the world populate in modern time, where you call Homo sapien. But you see, against I and I, the original man, them conspired from them time until now, because Eve born with twins. She have one of righteous seed and one of the serpent seed, and God tell you say the serpent did not go bruise him heel, but the seed of Adam I go bruise the serpent head. So we in the time when through His Majesty He give we the blueprint how to bruise the serpent head. So that's how the order where I start talk about in the liberty is how we bruise the serpent head, and His Majesty give we that is through industry, to unification of like heart and like mind, what is called collective security.
Yeah.
Because it said His Majesty said, united we stand, right? Divided we fall. Nothing His Majesty don't want to give the glory to, come is an Ethiopian talking. But we Rasta come to give them that in modern time. We say one love is not a hippie thing. It just means say for the love of humanity is that what animate I and I to do this. Because if not, it'll be pure bloodshed and war. All the things where them do I and I right now to date, I'm sure you could have see that another black man or black woman or child is kidnapped and or hanged and or missed, all kind of things that you don't see, like I said, in the news, them don't talk about it. But these things is going on every day. But all now America conspired. It's not even will come, it'll come. You have place like the grocery market where Whole Foods, you have to go scan your hand to go buy groceries. They have that option. So it is here already. What y'all gonna do about it?
Right.
It's here.
Are you going, that's a great question. Are you going to say, I'll wait until it comes to me and then somehow I'll miraculously figure it out? B, are you gonna be proactive, right? And interconnect with the community of Idrin that are dealing with the same challenges and have dealt with these challenges historically. You see, that's where the history come in. Our people have been persecuted and our people have found refuge. Big shout out to Empress Asada Shakur, who just passed away and transpired. Her legacy still stands as a testimony that the eye can survive, and that Almighty will guide you to where you need to go to do that. Sure. Empress Asada lived a good life. I'm not going to say a perfect life, nor am I going to say an easy life, but I'm going to say that she lived the rest of her days not in bondage in some enemy's cage, but she lived in the freedom and the blessed life that a person hopes to live in the end of their days. Having the right to walk out of the front door and go where the eye want or desire. It's nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. So, Asada is just an example of the other many people who found an opportunity for a better life and took it, you know. And when I say better life, you know, there's people who believe that if you live in the Western world, that there's nothing that compares to that lifestyle in the world, but it's not always the case. You know what I mean? We're starting to see, living here in the West, we're starting to see the quality of life dissipate in front of us. It's beginning unrealistic to survive in the world for anybody. I don't care if you're just counting every penny you have. You're going to be, right, asking, why is this one instead of 10 pennies? Because the cost of living now is sky high, and the leadership is not showing any signs of, right, changing that for people like you and me. So we're trying to now distinguish, you know, how to capitalize on the information that we have. We know things are coming down the line, and now how do you respond? I can answer it in 2 words: tap in. And I want to start a campaign, a tap in campaign. Are you tapped in? If something should go awry, something should not work the way you visualized it working, what if things get the darkest, right? Who do you tap into? In the 1800s, probably even 14s, there was the Underground Railroad. You know what I mean? That Underground Railroad had benefits for those that had knowledge and understanding. They could utilize and take that train, but those that did not could not. You know what I mean? So are you tapped in? You know what I mean? So we're gonna leave it at that. This has been an extraordinary time, extraordinary experience. We are one in the faith, Rasta for life. You know what I mean? We don't see death. You see me, I say, who is that woman? Where is her sting? You see me, I say? We trust that the light we're bringing to the nations, His Majesty's light is true and just, and He has been proven time and time out to be the second coming, the Messiah, the anointed one to the throne of David, His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I the First, Jah Rastafari. Yes, sir. So give thanks to Nestaland and all of our friends out there. Go check out my man's old album and new single, and my favorite song.
Yeah, Judah Tribe. Check out Judah Tribe. Check out the new works, Got to Learn, with a band called Gideon Force. VineandFigTreeRecords.com. See the style. Go online. Send me a link.
Oh, by the way, we did the graphics too. So if you need graphic, we do graphics, cinematography. We shoot photos, whatever the eye need, just reach out. Once again, another great testimony to what visualizing can manifest. Me and the brother Yashua started this with a hope that we could create a center for people to learn, for people to interconnect, and for people to have refuge. And we're knee deep in this, and praise God that we have Adrian around the world that are one heart, one mind, one love. You know what I mean? Red, gold, and green. Bless. Jah Rastafari. Yes. Bless. Yes. Give thanks.